It is said that the icon of our Mother Perpetual Help originated in Crete, Greece. A merchant obtained the image there. On board the ship sailing from Crete to Rome, the merchant encountered a violent storm that nearly sank their vessel. While on the ship, the merchant was deeply concerned. He thought about how he must save the image he had acquired. In the midst of everyone's fear during the voyage, it is said they were saved through the miraculous image carried by the merchant. Not long after, the storm passed and everyone was safe. Because of their rescue, the image became well known and people began to ask where it came from. It was believed that it had come from a church in Crete that had been destroyed during the war, until it eventually came into the possession of a merchant. The ship eventually reached Rome. People continued to be amazed by the image that had saved them during their journey. However, some also wondered if the merchant had stolen the image. Upon arriving Rome, the merchant immediately examined the image again. Being a businessman, he even considered selling it. But the merchant became seriously ill. While on his deathbed, he called his friend and entrusted the image to him, asking that it be brought to a church to be honored. However, upon arriving at the friend's house with the image, the friend's wife took an interest in it and found the image of the Blessed Virgin Mary beautiful. Though the friend said it had been entrusted to him for the church, his wife did not agree and insisted that the image stay in their home. So the image remained in their house. But one day, the Blessed Virgin appeared in a dream to their daughter. The Blessed Mother told the child that she had a message for her parents. The daughter told her parents that the Blessed Mother wanted the image taken to the Church of Saint Matthew. Still, the wife refused and did not want to part with the image until many misfortunes began to happen to their family. Finally, the wife agreed to bring the image to the church chosen by the Blessed Mother. The Augustinians received the image and placed it in the Church of Saint Matthew on March 27, 1492, to fulfill the Blessed Mother's request. For 300 years, the image was venerated in Saint Matthew's Church. Many miracles occurred to the devotees who prayed before it. In 1798, Rome was invaded by the troops of Napoleon Bonaparte. Over 30 churches were destroyed, including St. Matthew's. The Augustinians were forced to leave and relocated to Santa Maria in Posterula, bringing the image of our Mother Perpetual Help with them. But upon arrival, the church was already honoring the Virgin of Grace, so they couldn't enshrine the icon of our Mother Perpetual Help at the altar. Instead, the image was placed in a small chapel within the monastery. And there it remained unvenerated. Only the stories told by an Augustinian brother to a young altar boy named Marci kept the memory of the miracles alive. Eventually, the location of the image was forgotten for nearly 64 years. In 1885, the Redemptorists established a mission house and church in Villa Caserta, Rome, on the very site of the former Church of Saint Matthew, knowing its historical significance. One of the residents there was Father Marci, the former altar boy of the Augustinians. On February 7, 1863, a Jesuit priest, Father Francesco Blossi, mentioned in a sermon a question that caught the attention of the Redemptorist. He asked, Where is the image of our Mother Perpetual Help once venerated at St. Matthew's? This sparked Father March's memory of seeing the image in the chapel of Santa Maria in Posterula when he was a young altar boy. He remembered the stories told by Brother Agustin Orsetti about the miraculous icon. The Redemptorist believed the Blessed Mother wanted her image returned to its original location. They approached Pope Pius IX and requested the return of the image to the place chosen by the Blessed Mother. The Pope agreed. The Pope asked the Augustinians to return the image to the Redemptorist so it could once again be venerated in its rightful place. The Pope made one special request to the Redemptorist: make her known throughout the world. On April 26, 1866, the image was returned to the Redemptorist Church, and many miracles occurred through the miraculous icon. Countless graces were received by the devotees, and the devotion to our Mother Perpetual Help spread even more. The Redemptorists began promoting the weekly devotion to our Mother Perpetual Help in various countries. One of the countries reached was the Philippines. In 1906, the Redemptorists arrived in the Philippines. Their first mission house was in Opon, Cebu. Their arrival was a great blessing. In 1913, the Redemptorists moved to Manila and established a shrine to our Mother Perpetual Help in the Malate Parish in Ermita. In 1931, they moved to Baclaran, where they built a church and enshrined the image of our Mother Perpetual Help. The image remained there until World War II. On January 2, 1942, Manila was occupied by Japanese forces. The Redemptorists prepared for the possibility that the church would be taken and that they might be imprisoned. They decided to hide the church valuables. They entrusted the image to a house on Taft Avenue near De La Salle College to keep it safe from the Japanese. The Japanese occupied Baclaran Church and imprisoned the Redemptorist priest until February 1945. When the Japanese surrendered, the Redemptorists were freed. After their release, they returned to the house where they had entrusted the image, only to find that the house was gone and the image was missing. No one knew the whereabouts of the image until a La Salle brother reported seeing it at Bilibid prison, where the Japanese had stored confiscated Filipino items. But the icon was not listed in the official records. With the help of an American chaplain, the Redemptorists were allowed to search the stock room. They carefully searched for the image of our Mother Perpetual Help. Finally, they found it. They returned the image to its rightful place in the church in Baclaran. In May 1946 in Iloilo City, American soldiers asked Father Patrick Nolte, Redemptorist Superior of St. Clement's Church, to begin a novena to our Mother Perpetual Help. He agreed. Thus began the novena in the Philippines and the continued spread of devotion to the miraculous image. When Father Gerard O'Donnell, Redemptorist Superior in Lipa, visited St. Clement's and witnessed the novena, he was inspired to begin it in Lipa and in Baclaran. The novena began in Lipa, and on June 23, 1948, the first novena was held at Baclaran Church, led by Father Leo English, with 70 people in attendance. This marked the beginning of Wednesday novenas. The novena sessions grew due to the increasing number of devotees. Although the church had a capacity of 300, it overflowed with people. By 1949, there were 8 novena sessions. Despite enlarging the church, crowds still spilled outside. The Redemptorists needed funds to build a larger church. They asked the faithful to donate 10 centavos a week to help build a new church. In December 1952, construction began. And on December 5, 1958, after 6 years, the new church was opened. Since then, countless blessings have been received, prayers answered through the miraculous image, and from that time on, the church has remained open 24 hours a day so that anyone in need could come and pray to our Mother of Perpetual Help.